Hello, everyone. Planning Commission Chair, Vice Chair. This is Daniel Hauk, Associate Planner, and I'll be presenting on the Dish Wireless Eucalyptus Tower Project, PZ number 23-530-03, Special Use Permit Wireless. The current applicant is Sonal Thakur, uh, the designated agent. The request is to construct and operate a 70-foot tall wireless communication tower. The tower is a mono eucalyptus stealth facility with an associated ground equipment enclosure. Um, the purpose of this proposal is to enhance the service for gap and coverage surrounding the intersection of West Channel Islands Boulevard and South Ventura Road. The subject site is 1301 West Channel Islands Boulevard. On the bottom left, we have a view looking at the rear parking lot, where the landscape finger that contains the wireless tower is located, as well as the landscape finger that contains the equipment enclosure, which both are back towards the building, away from the street. On the right, we have a vicinity map and the property highlighted from an aerial view. As you can see, it is the northeast corner of the retail shopping center that is at that corner of the northeast corner as well of West Channel Islands Boulevard and South Ventura Road. Here's a couple of views from the surrounding area to give you an idea of what um, the potential views with the tree would look like. At the top, we have a view looking northwest to the project property from Manzanita Drive. Um, in the middle there, we have a view looking northeast to the project property from West Channel Islands Boulevard. And at the bottom, we have a view looking west from South Ventura Road. As you can see in all three of these views, the retail shopping center greatly screens the subject point. So the tower shouldn't be visible from the majority of the view sheds in the area. Probably primarily just from that area directly adjacent to the northeast corner of the shopping center. So here we have a zoning table. As you can see, there are a mix of uses in the area, being primarily commercial and residential. To the south and the west, it is general commercial, and the general plan is community commercial. While to the north and east, it is the garden apartment R3 and the residential medium general plan designation. The existing land uses follow suit. We have the commercial retail center to the south and west, as well as multifamily residential to the north and east. Here we have the zoning designation maps. On the right, the zoning designation from the zoning ordinance, where that is general commercial plan development, as I just explained on the previous slide, as well as the general plan designation, which is community commercial. So the background on the property is the eastern section of the existing shopping center that surrounds that rear parking lot. That was applied for on September 3rd, 1968, and taken in as PD 75. The request was to construct a Kmart and related stores. On September 19th, 1968, the Planning Commission approved Resolution 2601 approving the request. The development has had a series of minor modifications that aren't really that significant, mostly things along the lines of paint changes and other small requests. On May 3rd, 2023, this current wireless special use permit was submitted to propose the FOW Eucalyptus wireless facility on the property in that rear parking lot. Here we have propagation maps showing the strength of the signal that the tower will bring to the area, both by itself and in conjunction with the existing towers. As you can see, the coverage around that intersection and general area is greatly enhanced. Here's a couple looks at the project plans here. At the top right, we have a snippet of the landscaping plan. As you can see, the tower is in that central landscaping finger backed by the building. The landscape finger directly to the right will contain the equipment enclosure. There is in the dotted line areas, new trees proposed, as well as other landscaping that'll surround the equipment enclosure. The enclosure is chain link with privacy slats that'll match the color of the building. On the bottom left, we have a zoomed in site plan, essentially showing the same thing. You can see the tower in the landscape finger on the left, in the center, and directly to the right in the other landscaping finger, there is that equipment enclosure with the landscaping surrounding it. Here we have some visuals of the proposal. On the left, there is an example of a photo simulation example of what the Eucalyptus tower should look like roughly. In the center, we have the actual materials that are being proposed for the tower, the bark on the bottom, and the foliage above that. On the right, we have an elevation from the plans themselves that show both the fenced enclosure around the tower and the tower. Um, Conditions 15 through 21 require landscaping plans for the addition of multiple similar trees on to the property, as well as that other landscaping. Conditions 32, 35, 36, 37, 39, 51, 52, 53, 54, and 55 are numerous requirements for that will be for the disguise of the tower and its antenna to classify it as a stealth facility and keep the tree maintained as such for the life of the project. The environmental determination, we have chosen to exempt it under section 15303, which is class 3, construction of new small facilities or structures, due to the project being under 200 square feet. I believe it comes in at around 166. It really takes up almost no area, and we don't expect there to be any significant impacts. Therefore, it is consistent with Class 3, the exemption, and there are no exceptions to the exemptions that apply to defeat it. Therefore, staff has determined that there is no substantial evidence that the project will have a significant effect on the environment. Um, Something I need to detail briefly, real quick, before I finish with the staff recommendations is that the tower is at 70 feet, as I noted in the beginning. The zoning height is that it allow the max height is 35 feet. However, with the approval of this, this tower can be over height. Um, so, with that in mind, we ask, and the previous slide as well, we ask that Planning Commission find the project exempt from environmental review pursuant to the California Environmental Quality Act, Guidelines Section 15303, Class 3, and adopt Resolution 2024-XX approving planning and zoning permit number 23-530-03, subject to certain findings and conditions. That is all I have today. Thank you all for listening.